Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going to start with a question. Are you ready for big fun? That's a reference to a lyric from one of the songs on the album that I'm going to talk about today, which is Infestation by Ratt. This, as far as I know, is going to be the last Ratt episode I do until I do, it's not going to be the next one, but until I do, I've teased this the last couple of episodes, I'm going to rank all of the Ratt records sometime soon, in the next week or two. I think I'll do that. So that's coming up, and I've been going through them now. This is the last one I'll do, for now anyway, and then the rankings. So I know you've all been anxiously waiting to hear in what order I would put all these records, and you will find out maybe in the next few weeks or so. All right, so it's Infestation, but before I get to that, I'm going to talk about, if I remember to put it in the title or in the description down below, I'm going to talk a little bit about, as a bonus, show and tell. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I got this. Look at this. I got the Ratt CD box set a couple years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago. It was like June. The first week of June in 2023, Ratt put out their first 5 records out of the cellar: Invasion of Your Privacy, Dancing Undercover, Reach for the Sky, and Detonator. They put those out in 2 different box sets. I got one. You can kind of see it over there. It stands out really, really obviously. That was the vinyl edition. They also put out a CD edition. Why would I get both? This is the 4th time that I bought all these Ratt albums. I had the original ones when they came out at the time, and then I bought them all again on CD as they came out through the 90s, I guess. And then I got that vinyl box set. And now, just yesterday, I received this. I have no use for this, to be honest. I can't imagine. It's so rare, almost pretty much never, that I listen to CDs. But this Ratt obsession or Ratt renaissance that I've been going through in the last several months, and really last several years, has gotten the best of me. There's another lyrical reference to a song from Infestation, which I will talk about. And I can't quench my thirst. I can't scratch that itch. There's another Ratt reference from Detonator, the Detonator album. I can't get enough Ratt. I just want more and more and more, but there's no more records to get. So now I've kind of reduced myself to buying, other copies of records or CDs, whatever format that I already have. The reason I got this was only the bargain basement price of about $35 US. If it had been 36, I would have said, nah, it's too much, it's not worth it. But for it was 686 pesos, which is right around $35 US. I thought, oh man, that's gonna really, at least for now, quench a little bit of my Ratt thirst. And I just wanted to get it. And it's the first 5 albums that I mentioned earlier. The vinyl box set, I did an unboxing of that 2 years ago, in I guess it was June or maybe July by the time I did it, 2023. It had all the cool stuff that I looked at once when I unboxed it and then never looked at it again. The poster, the KLOS bumper sticker, the guitar pick, what else was there? The booklet, that I think it was a 16-page, really nice booklet. That was cool. Haven't looked at any of it since. This has nothing of that. It just has the CDs. And like I said, I just really, really wanted to get it. All right. So there it is. I'll open up now quickly and show it. It's here's the hype sticker. Ratt, the Atlantic years, 1984 to 1990. Interesting. When I looked at this, I realized 1990. I'm sure it was 1991. And they're really, whoever's in charge of this, whether it's Rhino or Atlantic or BMG, whoever it is, they're really paying attention to detail. The reason why, and it's true, I did look, the box set was 84 to 91, and this is 84 to 90. The difference is that the vinyl box set included the Nobody Rides for Free single, which did come out. It never came out as a single, but they included it as a single in that set, and the song came out in 1991. So, and this does not contain anything like that, so it is 84 to 90. So a small detail here. So it says Ratt, the Atlantic years, 1984 to 1990. Special collection features all 5 of Ratt's gold and platinum studio albums on CD. Out of the cellar, 3 times platinum: Invasion of Your Privacy, 2 times platinum, Dancing Undercover, platinum Reach for the Sky Platinum, Detonator Gold. All right, so there it is. And I will open it up. These CDs, they look like they're digipacks. I did buy that Van Halen, the David Lee Roth, the first 6 David Lee Roth albums on CD, the box set a couple years ago. They were just like a paper sleeve. Not a paper sleeve, like a cardboard sleeve. These are like digipacks. They're definitely not plastic jewel cases. And I'm gonna guess, I'll put this down. I'm gonna guess there's absolutely nothing inside except the digipack. There's what it looks like when they're all stacked on top of each other. And there's what the back looks like. So let me take this out quickly and then I will get to Infestation. It's a nice solid box. And so there's Out of the Cellar, and let me take a look inside. Yeah, nothing. It's just like the inside would be like well, that was the back of the record originally. It also has the liner notes, which were on the back of the original record, the record back in 1984. And inside in the tray, it's just a close-up of Tawny Kitaen hunched down on all fours. All right, and I'll go in order, in chronological order. There's Invasion of Your Privacy. And the tray is, it's not a close-up of Marianne Gravette, which I believe is her name. Playmate of the Year, 1985, 84 or something. There it is. I'll put that back. I can put these down. I'll put those out of the way so as not to get distracted visually. Here's Dancing Undercover. And the tray it's just the song titles. Kind of strange how they did that. Out of the Cellar had the album cover, and these next two don't. Next is Reach for the Sky. And the tray is that stupid logo. That logo sucked. I don't know what they were thinking with that logo, but didn't like it at all. Great album, but the logo was awful. And then Detonator. There it is, and the tray, I guess it's going to be that photo of them. Oh, there's the back. Yeah, there's the photo of them. And when they're a little bit less glammy or not as much hairspray nor jewelry or things like that. A little bit jeans and kind of a different toned down look for Ratt. All right, so there it is. There's the box set. That'll be my extent of ever touching and handling this box set. Yet I'm still happy that I have it. All right, so now I'm gonna get to this one. This CD. This is Infestation. And well, let's get something out of the way first. This album cover sucks. Horrible album cover. I talked about this a few Ratt episodes ago. The EP was a cool cover. Out of the Cellar was cool. Invasion of Your Privacy was cool. I thought Dancing Undercover was not that good, but in retrospect, I do like Dancing Undercover. But after that, their record covers sucked. Reach for the Sky sucked. Detonator sucked. The 1999 album sucked. And this sucks. I don't know what that is. It's a high tension tower, I guess it looks like. And I don't know, a house, that's it. It's really a very strange, and I have no idea what maybe I'm missing the concept, but it's a terrible album cover. So right here, and there's the back of it, and the song titles are all kind of laid over on top of each other. So that's that, and that's the last even slightly negative thing I have to say about this album, because I fucking love this album. I want to try and not say too much about how I love it, although that's going to be hard, just like I did with the last episode, which was Dancing Undercover, because I don't want to give away where I'm going to put it within the Ratt studio albums ranked, which I will do soon. But overall, my before I get to the track by track, my broad sense of this album is it's not good, it's not great, it's incredible. It's staggering how great this album is, or maybe it's more accurate to say how much I love this album. And over the years, you read these comments whenever this comes up, if you follow any of the bands or any kind of metal or hard rock pages on social media, you know, things come up, the anniversary of an album or somebody posts about it, and you read the comments, which are usually really dumb and a waste of time. But I don't think I've read one single comment by anybody, and this came out in 2010, so that's 15 years ago. I've never seen, that I can remember, not one person has anything bad to say about this album. Everybody, my opinion about this album, I think is right in line with everybody else's, at least of the people who bought it. This album is just incredible. It's unbelievable. It's shocking how great this album is. What else can I say about it? It's and it was their first record since 1999, which was 13 years. And it sounds exactly like Ratt. Exactly how you wanted Ratt to sound with those first 5 records, from Invasion of Your Privacy, from Out of the Cellar through Detonator. It sounds just like Ratt. It's instantly identifiable, but it's not, it doesn't sound outdated. It doesn't sound like, oh, this band is trying to recapture their past glory, or, you know, they're trying to go back in time and reach for something that isn't there. No, it's there, and it is fucking incredible. This album is just unbelievable. Sonically, stylistically, I think even for what it's worth, the look of the band, just everything about it is, it's not great, it's amazing. I love it. And it's I would even maybe say it's their, again, I don't want to give the ranking away, I would even say it's their best sounding album, because again, it does sound, it has the old Ratt classic sound, but it sounds, I don't want to say modern, but it just sounds good. It's really, really good. It's also, for me, undoubtedly the best bass Ratt album. And I'm not saying that Robbie Crane, I've talked about this many times about, I think it's foolish when fans say this guy is better than this guy is better, this is better. It's all, you know, as a non-musician, I don't think we should be judging talent. So I'm not saying that, because Robbie Crane played bass on this, and he also played bass on the 1999 album, and that's not anywhere near being a great bass album for Ratt. But the bass on this album, and I'm not saying it's the playing, I don't know what it is, but this, in terms of bass, sounds way better than any Ratt album. That's not a slight on Crucier. It's not, I don't know, maybe it's a pat on the back to Robbie Crane. I don't think it's the producer, which is, or who was Elvis Basket. I don't think it was him. But the bass in general on this album is amazing. It's very, it's just very full. It's not Steve Harris. It's not, you know, like that. But it's just very, very, really beefs up the whole album. This is not a heavy album. People might say it's heavy, which I think is very, very incorrect. It's very, very chunky, and it's got heft to it. And it's I'm trying to think of adjectives other than heavy. It's chunky. It's in your face. It's really strong. It's powerful, but it's not heavy. Ratt is not a heavy band. They have some riffs that are, you know, real, I could say metal riffs, but Ratt is not a metal band, or they're not a heavy metal band. But this album is just unbelievable. When I first heard, I'll talk about it now. The first single from this record was Best of Me, and I heard that, I can't remember if they re-released, if they released it before the album came out. I don't know if the first time I heard it was when the video came out. For some reason, I think the video for Best of Me came out after the album came out, but the song was released as like a streaming, or I don't know how, maybe on, I don't know, to listen to. I think before that, I could have the sideline, the timeline, I could be off by that. But when I heard it immediately, I thought, this is Ratt. This sounds, just the opening riff, even the first second of the riff, it's undeniably, unmistakably Ratt. And the whole album continues in that vein. And it is just incredible. And also Carlos Cavazo was on this record. And I hadn't listened to this actual record for years. I listened to almost all my music digitally, except when I, like to pull out an album maybe once or twice a week. And that's it. But I hadn't pulled out this for years and years, and I took it out today as I was listening to it. I listened to it twice today as normal. And, Ratt, I think they only printed the lyrics on one album. I think that was Detonator. No lyrics on here, but I had, the booklet is better than I remember. At least, that's shit. All right, there's a photo. I like the photo. And it's got the credits and the thank yous from the band, and then individually from Stephen Pearcy, Warren DeMartini, Blotzer, Carlos Cavazo, and Robbie Crane. And I was looking at the songwriting credits, and I don't remember Carlos Cavazo being so involved in the songwriting with this. I know he played on the record, but I guess in my head over the years, I've just kind of assumed that he played on it. And I've even wondered, maybe he didn't actually play on it. Maybe he just, was part of the band, and they put him in the picture. They put his name on the record. Because we as metal fans, we like bands. We don't want ghost musicians. We don't want, any shenanigans or anything like this. But Carlos Cavazo co-wrote 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4. I thought it was more than that, but still 4 is pretty good. And I only recently, just a couple days ago, I don't remember a video for Eat Me Up Alive. And I came across it the other day while I was watching the YouTube. And I thought, oh, they have a video for this song. And it seems impossible that I would have missed it in all these years, especially at the time. But maybe it's one of these things where you saw it and you just totally forgot about it. But that opening riff of Eat Me Up Alive is at least in the video. It's Carlos Cavazo playing it. I don't know if he really plays on the record, but it seems that Carlos Cavazo was much more involved in this record than I remember or than I thought. But it still sounds like a Ratt record. It doesn't sound like Quiet Riot or anything like that. It sounds like a Ratt record. But Carlos Cavazo is really involved in this record. All right. So is there anything else I want to say about this record in general? I love I've talked about this before. Any Ratt album, Blotzer's drums to me are, I don't care about talent, but just his sound and his style of drums. I love Blotzer. Warren DeMartini, one of my favorite guitarists ever. I'll talk about him more, I think, when I do the discography ranking of Ratt. And Pearcy, I think, always sounds great. I don't care if you say he's not a good singer technically. I really couldn't give a shit about that. He's for me, one of my favorite singers ever, one of the best voices ever. I love Stephen Pearcy. I would even say maybe on this record, I don't want to, make too many comparisons. Maybe he sounds better on here than he has on any record in the past, any Ratt record. I think he sounds a little bit grittier here, a little bit more growly. I love Stephen Pearcy's vocals, especially on this album. All right. And I think with that, I can get to the track by track. Now, I think I might end up quoting some lyrics, and I know this album. Oh, no, one more thing I want to say about this album before I get to track by track. Again, without giving it away where I'm going to rank it, I can say that this is two things I can kind of qualify my opinion about this record with. One, this album came out, as I said, in 2010. I don't know if there's been a record that has come out since that I've liked as much as I like this one. So it's possibly one of my favorite records since 2010. There's one that's close, but I would have to say Ratt is my favorite record since 2010. Also, of the bands of this genre, era, style, whatever category you want to put it to, that includes Motley Crue, Poison, Danger Danger, Bullet Boys, Slaughter, Cinderella, Britney Fox, any of those bands you want to talk about. This music kind of started to die, I guess. People like to blame that on grunge, and I will never get involved in that ridiculous debate about how did hair metal die, or grunge killed hair metal, or hair metal killed itself. That's a bullshit thing that I don't really want to talk about, but I think that kind of started to wane before grunge really became popular in 1991. But so let's say since 1990, of all those bands that I just mentioned a few seconds ago, of all those bands that put out records, let's say post 91 or maybe even post 90, I don't think there's one that I like better from those bands. There might be a few records. No, there are a few records that I maybe like more than this by other bands. But of that style of bands, Ratt's peers or contemporaries, from 1990 or let's say 1991 on, I don't think any band put out a record that I liked as much as I liked Infestation. All right. So now I will get to the track by track. And the first track, I think I can remember these: Eat Me Up Alive, Best of Me, Look Out Below. No, I screwed that up already. Oh, a little too much. Then Look Out Below, Last Call, Lost Weekend. Anyway, I'll need this to keep me on track. So the first song is Eat Me Up Alive. No, I'm going to go back and I'm going to say another thing about this record related to Ratt. I'll get to the track by track because I have all these things that I want to say and sometimes I forget about them. There are at least 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 songs on this record that if I took my favorite 5 or 6 or 7 songs from Out of the Cellar, Invasion of Your Privacy, Dancing Undercover, the classic albums, Reach for the Sky and Detonator, my favorite 5 or 6 or 7 from this are as good, possibly better than any of those 5 or 6 or 7 songs. I really, this album is unbelievable. All right, so, and it begins with, and it's hard to pick a favorite because they're all so great. It begins with Eat Me Up Alive, one of the great Ratt riffs ever. I feel like this album, and I guess to go back to the album, if this album had come out after Out of the Cellar, after Invasion, after Dancing Undercover, if they had released this one, it would have been a massive, massive, massive success, I believe. I think this is what people wanted to hear from Ratt at that time. Okay, so Eat Me Up Alive. Nobody ever talks about anything from this album being the best riff. I've seen people say that Lay It Down is maybe the best riff in all of hair metal, and I don't know if I would agree, but I can't disagree. Or that, You're in Love, or, I don't know, whatever. Nobody talks about anything from this record because obviously the timing of it, people had largely forgotten about Ratt at this point. This was, 20 years after their heyday, or even more than 20 years after their heyday. And, I liked them, and a lot of people really still did like Ratt. And as I said, the praise, I think, for this album was pretty much universal amongst Ratt fans. But I feel like a couple of riffs on this album, beginning with Eat Me Up Alive, put them up there with Lay It Down and You're in Love and whatever else you want to put in there. You Think You're Tough. It's a real chunky Ratt metal, not metal. It's not heavy, but it is a real Ratt riff. And as I said, Carlos Cavazo is playing the riff in the video. I assumed he played on the record. And it's a very, very up-tempo. The lyrics are, tell me all your secrets as I lay you on the bed, make believe in miracles as I ring inside your head or read inside your head. Something still in motion, all your underlying back. Come a little closer, is that something that I said? Wait till you see what I found. Why don't you take me, eat me up alive? Take me, eat me up alive. Give me or bring me, give me all your energy. Take me if you try. Wailing song, wailing guitar solo through this song, and that opening riff is just pure Ratt. That's one of these top 5 or 6 or 7, possibly even number 1, and any of those 5 or 6 or 7 could be my favorite from this record. Very hard to pick one single favorite. But I will with the next one. I think I like the next one even more than Eat Me Up Alive, and it's Best of Me. This, as I said, was the first single, and when this came out, there are 2 songs that I remember, and I'm sure there's been more, but 2 songs I remember hearing, and they've been in somewhat recent years. The other one was My Apocalypse by Metallica, 2008 with Death Magnetic. That when I heard them, I actually smiled and I thought, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I expect. This This is what I've been waiting for this band. Best of Me made me so happy to have Ratt back in my life and producing music of this caliber. And it was the first song, and I think I was cautious at that point, thinking, okay, this is an amazing song, but can they sustain this for 10 or, as it turns out, 11 songs? And they could. But Best of Me, and I didn't really have high hopes for this album. Ratt had been away for, as I said, 11 years. And the last album they had done in 1999 was not the best, and I will talk about that in the rankings. So this is really their first real Ratt album when they were still kind of a popular band since 1990. So it was actually 20 years. And I thought Best of Me was, I thought immediately, probably from the first time I heard it, very top-notch Ratt song. It's got all the marks, all the earmarks, I think people say, of classic Ratt. It's got the great riff opening to it, which also should be talked about in the same breath as Lay It Down and You're in Love, and even Eat Me Up Alive. Best of Me, it's got another great thing about Ratt and their formula, and this Best of Me has it. They have so many songs have, between the time the song starts and the time the vocals come in, they have these great little kind of leads, little mini solos, mini leads like licks, and this has it, and Stephen Pearcy is kind of ad-libbing, oh yeah, all that and things like that. What do you get when you get the best? What do you do when you got the best woman in this wild, wild west? You got me smiling from coast to coast. A year from now, we're still going for broke. It's like a feeling never gonna stop. You got me spinning like a top. I know there's places where I haven't been, but I'll come back here and do it again. You said you wouldn't be with me. You said you wouldn't see me till you got your wedding dress. And it has the great Ratt backing vocals too, as many songs on this record do. You're like no others. You're like no other, so undercover. I'll never be alone. It's put it up there with all the catchiest Ratt songs ever. If this had come out at a different time, 20 years earlier, I think it's bullshit when people say it would have been huge. I'm not saying it would have been huge, but I'm saying it should have been huge. Oh my God, Best of Me is just an unbelievable Ratt song. Yeah, and I do like it better than Eat Me Up Alive, although Eat Me Up Alive is great too. Next is it As Good As It Gets? Oh, a little too much. I'll tell you something I don't. You tell me something about, what's the lyric? And you don't know how you feel. You think you know everything about me except just how I feel. Oh, I can't think of the opening line. I'll tell you something, God. I'll tell you something about myself and tell you what it's real. I can't remember. You think you know everything about me except just how I feel. You always call me a liar, but you can't say it to my face. But you can't say it to my face. It doesn't matter to me, you never loved me anyway. You say it's hot, I say it's cold. You say let's stop, I say let's go. What's the matter with me? A little too much, can't get a little too much. The Stephen Pearcy is kind of going back and forth with the backing vocals, trading off that. A Little Too Much is another great song. Next is Look Out Below, look straight ahead. You better watch your ass, because I'm in your head. A couple of, I guess, little nods, at least one nod to AC/DC here. Is it this one? Look Out Below, yeah. Well, She's My Angel, She's Back in Black. She's my angel, she's back in black. You know, she's a devil, but I like that ass. I like that. That's again going back to, maybe it was silly hearing, Stephen Pearcy sing about I like your ass in 2010, but I didn't care. I thought it sounded appropriate. It didn't seem forced. It didn't seem anything like that. I just thought it was great, and Look Out Below is great. Now, oh my God, the next couple of songs, put them up there with Eat Me Up Alive and Best of Me. The next one is called Last Call. This is kind of up-tempo in the vein of, Body Talk, something like that. Doesn't sound like Body Talk at all. but just it's a much, very up-tempo song. And what's the lyrics? She said, meet me when you're, this is how I interpret the lyrics. Meet me when you're all alone. Then she turned and walked away. It's crazy when you're out of love and you don't know where you've been. But lately I'm feeling fine. Just tell me where or when. I'm going to give you everything you want and never see me again. Nicely, friendly to me. I couldn't catch my breath. I gave her a kiss, a little lick. Now I know just what I've missed. So hot. Let's go inside. We'll dance the night away. Dance the night away. That's not Van Halen. That's the guys in Ratt singing the backing vocals, which I can't do. Yeah, I'm gonna. I fucked up. I lost my rhythm. Nice lady, friendly to me. I couldn't give her. Nice lady, friendly. Oh, I gotta get back on track. I'm trying to steer the ship. I'm trying to right the ship. So hot. Let's go inside. We'll dance the night away. Dance the night away. Yeah, I'm going to give you everything you want, but you ain't going to get it for free. You didn't know me, and I wouldn't care. Come here. Last call. Great backing vocals. Never turned away. She said, meet me out behind the bar. Or lately I'm at the bar. Then she, lately out behind the bar. And she turned and walked away. It's crazy. No, I'm going back to the first verse. Don't forget to get a drink. I get off at 2. I'll be waiting for you. I'm going to drive you in the pink Cadillac. Don't look back. I'm dying over here. I'm dying over here. Anyway, Last Call is amazing, amazing song. There's kind of a cool coda at the end. The song ends very abruptly, and then it goes back to the intro. That kind of a little bit of a bluesy intro. There's also the outro. Amazing song. Let's say that's my favorite, even more than Eat Me Up Alive, and then Best of Me. I'm going to say Last Call, but I think I'm going to change that because the next song is called Lost Weekend, and oh my God, if there's one song, and there's not one, there are several, but if there's one song I would say that really, really captures the spirit of old Ratt on this album, that's a real retro song, it's Lost Weekend. Are you ready for big fun? As I mentioned off the top of this video, Lost Rocksteady, yeah, I'm ready for the weekend. It's got just this fucking awesome Ratt riff, a real kind of one of these, rocking back and forth 80s riffs without sounding outdated. Rocksteady, yeah, I'm ready for the weekend. Was I the only one who was looking for love? It's not only me, but I like what I'm feeling. Can't remember. Rocksteady, your Last Weekend. I'm ready for big fun. You're mine for the taking. Rocksteady, everyone. I forgot your name the first day that we met. Watching you devour that lollipop. I think that's what he says. It's not only me. Can't remember. And then there's a great bridge in the song. And Ratt Bridges. I feel like he's the brother of Bo Bridges and Jeff Bridges is Ratt Bridges. Ratt Bridges are awesome, and maybe I should have done that for this album. Is I think every single song has one of these great bridges, either between the chorus, usually it would be the second chorus leading into the solo, or after the solo leading to the outro. But the bridge in this one is, if you can take it, would you want some more? If you can take it, would you want some? A little closer. Now just close the door. Do it. And then it goes into, and this is where the retro nostalgia point comes in. It totally, I doubt that they did this intentionally, although I'm sure aware of it. Close your eyes and you're listening to lack of communication during the solo. Not the actual guitar solo, but the music that's driving the song under the solo. Totally lack of communication. So I will say that Lost Weekend is my favorite song from Infestation. Next is As Good As It Gets. This is a little bit slower. You like me, baby? You like it, baby? And I like that. I tell you, honey, it's as good as it gets. Yeah, I like this one. But after those last two, Last Call and Lost Weekend, as good as it gets, it maybe comes down a little bit. And it's still a great song. Every single song on this album is great, as with every Ratt album, with maybe one or two exceptions. Stay tuned for the ranking to see what I'm talking about. And I know nobody's watching this. I can tell you're all a bunch of fucking assholes now, and nobody's gonna know. Except Mike Pratt, who is not a fucking asshole. And maybe Bronco. Bronco, are you watching this? Your screen name is Rat Rock, and you have this as your profile image on YouTube. You should be watching this. You're also not a fucking asshole. Oh yeah, Garden of Eden. This is getting back up to the up-tempo ones. A little bit. In this Garden of Eden. Can't remember, can't think of these lyrics off my mind, but I do like Garden of Eden. So I will continue and go to Take a Big Bite. This is getting much more up tempo now. What do you get when you got nothing to lose? You got your, what do you get when you got nothing to lose? You got an, what do you get when you got nothing? You got something, smile in your alligator shoes. You walk the thinnest line. You make a grown man cry. You don't take a big bite. Shake your ass, baby. And again, maybe some people are going to talk shit about Stephen Pearcy singing Shake Your Ass when he's at that point. I don't know if he was 55. I'm 55 now. And he's singing about Shake Your Ass, baby. I don't care because I love it. Next is, now I have to switch because you can read the first like 8 songs there. And then they start to overlap, so you have to go here. So after Take a Big Bite is another take, and it's Take Me Home. This is, I winced a little bit there, and I shouldn't have. That's not an indication of what I think of the song, but this is a little bit, it's not a ballad. I call them ballad adjacent. It is a little bit quieter. Just have a little patience. Let's have a little patience. That's how the story goes. You're always in my heart. You're always in my soul. The chorus is much bigger. The verse, there's no acoustic, but it is, actually I don't think. There's definitely no acoustic guitar on this album. As far as I know, no keyboards, no horns. This is a pure 100% rock record. So please take me home. Please take me home, just where I wanna be. That's a great song too. Excuse me, and then the last one, this is another one that I could count as a great way to end this record. One of my top, what did I say? Eat Me Up Alive, Best of Me, Last Call, Last Weekend. This is at least 5. Now, Take a Big Bite, I would add that too. Just great songs. Don't Let Go. This is a great closing song, very fast up tempo. I'm gonna get me some leg tonight for sure, and I don't care who I'm with. You know, it's driving me crazy, a little insane, but that's just who I am. You know, it's Saturday night. It must be right. Something. It's not going to come to this. She said, turn me over and inside out. Then she asked me to do it again. You don't know me. And there's this great riff playing over. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't care. You don't know me. You don't care. Don't let go. Oh, no. Great song. Great way to close this record. And no, you know what? A lot of bonus. I don't have it on this version, but there was... I think there were two. I think one was a Japanese. There's a song called Scatter, which was on, I think, Japanese version. And it's a new, and you know, something else with the songwriting credits. Don't Let Go, the last song, was co-written by John Corabi. I think it was this one. You know, he did briefly play in Ratt. I assume this song goes way back to when Corabi was in Ratt 10 years prior, as opposed to them writing it in 2008 or 2009 for this record. I think it is Take a Big Bite. It's Corabi has a credit. Written by Blotzer. Blotzer has a couple of credits here. Blotzer, Pearcy, Corabi, and Basquiat. Elvis Basquiat, the producer, has a couple of songwriting credits on this record. I would imagine more for arrangements more than anything else. I think that's the way it goes with producers. So Scatter was a bonus song, let's say on the Japanese edition. I'm very glad that it's not on the regular edition. It would clearly be my least favorite on Infestation. It's just a little bit, it's slow, but it's not ballad or even ballad adjacent. It's not, for me, it's not particularly catchy or memorable. It doesn't really go anywhere. That's one of my least favorite Ratt songs in their catalog. But it's a bonus song, so I think it's much better served being left off. Then you look at it kind of in parentheses. Okay, you have these 11 songs ending with Take a Big Bite. Take Me Home. And then Scatter is kind of in parentheses. It's like an afterthought, which is how I think how B-sides generally should be. Although I'm sure there are people who say that Scatter, it should have been on the record. It's the best song on the record. And then there was another version that there were three extra in addition to Scatter. There were 3 more, all recorded live on Rockline, if anybody remembers that Rockline show. They were You Think You're Tough, Tell the World, was it Tell the World? Or You Got It. I think it was Tell the World. Definitely You Think You're Tough, I think Tell the World, and Way Cool Jr. The version of You Think You're Tough, that there was a bonus on some versions of this, recorded on Rockline. You Think You're Tough might be my favorite Ratt song in their catalog. And I'm kind of conflicted because I say, I think I like this Rockline version even better, but then I would say no, because that would mean that that's my favorite song in their whole catalog, which feels untrue. But I love the version of You Think You're Tough on Rockline. Way Cool Jr. is not my favorite song, but the version on Rockline, I think it is better than the original. It doesn't have the horns, and it does sound like more like a Ratt song, I guess how they played it live back then at the time. All right, so that is it for, I feel like I still have more to say about Infestation. I just really, really, really can't say strongly enough how much I love this album. And you'll see where I put it when I do the Ratt ranking video in the next couple of weeks or whenever I get around to it. That's all. Thank you for watching. And I hope you can watch the Ratt ranking video. And until then, this was just a fucking awesome album, one of the greatest of the genre ever, especially in the last 30 years. This is Ratt, Infestation.